It is Pulse One-on-One powered by Showmax. My name is Layemi Fearless, and right now I am with a housemate whose eviction shocked everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I am with Maria. How are you doing, Maria?
I'm really well, thank you.
We are not over the shock just yet about your eviction
I
from
love
the
you
house.
guys.
How are you doing
I'm over
today?
it though, so let's please get over
That
it.
fast?
Yes,
You left us in the shock?
It's okay. At least you see more of me in real life, so
Amazing
that's okay.
stuff, amazing stuff.
Thank you.
So how are you doing as well?
I don't know, I'm so tired. I bet it's showing, but I'm very happy and I'm okay.
Okay, good
Yeah,
stuff.
thanks.
All right, so immediately your eviction happened in the house. You, even at the point where you were announced, we could see the shock on your face. And when you came
Really?
out, you mentioned that
Okay.
you're surprised that this happened. So
Yeah.
why exactly, where did your surprise stem from?
I just wasn't ready as a person. Like, I felt like I had so much more that I needed to give. In terms of my journey on the show, and it just came to an end so quickly. And also just because, you know, it might have been so many weeks in the house, but there was still so many players in the game. And it wasn't like a shock thing, like I was overly confident, like, oh, no one throw me away. But I already knew I was going to get nominated. I think I've been saying that from like the second week in the game, but I more or less was scaling through with, you know, either being head of house or someone that I knew was head of house and stuff like that. So I was scaling through, but it is what it is. I'm happy. I gave my best and I just wish I stayed a little bit longer. But all of that, everything happens for a reason, and I'm just going to accept this as faith and we're moving on. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try as much as possible to stay focused because
Okay.
you look really good, by the way.
I look so tired. Have you seen me?
What? This is your tired face? Oh, goodness.
Whatever, but thank you, I appreciate it. But I am tired.
You're
I haven't
welcome.
slept, but yeah.
Your
I'm okay.
tired is beautiful.
Oh, I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
All right, so the executive lounge conversation between Peace and Nini and
Okay.
you. So we saw you break down some sort of things about Angel. So were those your true analysis of Angel?
What kind of things did you hear? I want to hear your part because
Well-
there's so many different parts. So I want to hear.
Okay, so you used some like derogatory words towards
That was
Angel.
from my mouth.
That was from you.
What did I say?
You know, you had some things about how, you know, there are words that we can use like straight up on camera
Okay,
right now.
fair enough.
There were some things that some people termed slut shaming, some people termed some other things jealousy.
Okay.
You know, there were things about how she was, you know, there were things about being fake. There were
Okay.
things also about her throwing herself around and stuff.
Okay.
So there were, you know, you said them, we
Okay.
heard. So coming from you.
I'm on a show. Everything is said. I can't keep remembering things that I said, but I will, in summary, say what did happen in the show.
Okay.
You know, we were talking about different boys. We talked about Nini and Saga. They asked me about Pere and myself. You know, I asked Peace, you know, who she felt or fancied in that. Anyway, we had different conversations, and I asked, what do you guys think about Angel? And obviously, Peace had brought up, oh, that thing Michael said about her and her, like you said, we shouldn't use, but I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about, you know. Yeah.
I don't, I really
Okay,
want you
so-
to tell me.
No, she's a woman at the end of the day, and I wouldn't like, I mean, it's constant now, and it's actually beginning to, it's not nice. And
No, really, it's okay. This is like one last conversation
Okay,
about
sure.
it. So you can say the weight on your mind.
I mean, you know, we did have a game in the house, and it's like a question game. So I would ask you a question, and the answer to that question you don't tell me. You go to the person that you think is that answer to that question, but you ask them a total different question.
It's a
So we
whisper
did play a game. Oh, sorry, my bad. Whisper game. We did ask someone, I can't remember who, had asked Michael, which of the girls do you think has the smelliest, you know, vagina in the house? And he went over to Angel. So Peace had to drink to get the answer from Michael, and you know, I winked at her, and afterwards she told me. I mean, this is not part of the game or whatever, but she did tell me, and I don't know, I can't remember. She might have told a few others. So obviously, when we're at the executive lounge, when I asked her, "What do you guys think about Angel?" and she mentioned that, I was like, "Oh God, yeah, that was really bad." But like, and then I said, "But like, you wouldn't blame some of." I said, that's bad, but you wouldn't blame some of his, why? And it was a game, the whisper game was a game. So you don't know if that's how he actually really felt about her, or was he just, it's a game, do you know, like, I don't know. But I said, you know, that was wrong of him, but I don't blame him because at the end of the day, it's how you carry yourself as a lady. And I think that's where I'm being dragged. And me saying that, you know, she and Sammy, they have this thing that they're a thing. And, you know, everyone can do whatever they want at the end of the day. It's your life, it's your goals, it's who you are. But my point was, you know, you can't say you have a thing with someone and, you know, when you see him with another girl, I mean, I know it's all a joke when she shouts Sammy and, you know, he laughs about it. But, you know, we do have truth or dare games. And, you know, I mean, you guys watch the show, you see it for what it is. It wasn't jealousy. It's nowhere near jealousy. There are parts to Angel that I don't think she's a loving, great girl. Like I really like her as a person. But I don't want to keep talking about this Angel thing because I actually have absolutely nothing against Angel. My whole thing was, you know, she chooses when to do tasks or when to, you know, slowly come out of her room for briefs and like different things. That was like a character flaw for me. But any other thing that I'm being dragged about calling her a prostitute, I want to watch that clip. I really want to remember when I said that because those were, I don't know where that's coming from, but the whole vagina thing, we were not talking about Angel's, like we didn't start that up. Again, Peace mentioned Michael and Michael did say that. And this is how the whole, anyway, it's a bit much now because she's a lady at the end of the day and we didn't know that executive room would have been aired out. But of course, trust Biggie.
I mean, it's Biggie's house, we see everything.
For some reason, I actually had it at the back of my mind that it was going to be, like, I thought, I don't trust Biggie, like, this might be aired out. But again, it's not hate, it's not slut shaming whatsoever. Like, I haven't called her, I don't hate Angel. I literally have no hate whatsoever towards Angel. I'm sure I have certain character flaws that maybe viewers or even certain people in the house be like, oh, I don't like that about Maria. And that's fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions about others as long as, you know, it doesn't cause... Anyway, yeah, that's all I want to say about this. And we'll just move on. And, you know, in the future, I do like the Friday and Saturday Night Angel, and she does have great traits. You know, she's talented. She's a nice girl, but that's just about it.
All right. So from everything, like from the point you're trying to make, would you say maybe from a moral point of view, she's doing too much or something? Everyone
has their beliefs and has what they class good moral or bad. Like we're all brought up differently. What I would see as, ooh, I'll never do this, could be someone else's, there's nothing wrong in that. That's normal. We're all human beings at the day. We don't think alike. We're not the same. My opinions and my morals, someone could see my morals as, oh, this girl has no home training, and they're entitled to their opinions. If I get upset, it's on me. I should get over it. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not close enough to her to know if it's morals or it's none of my, like, I just observed what I saw and I stated them and that was it.
Okay, away from Angel now.
Please. Because I have nothing against her.
What is up with you and Pere? What is going on? Tell us from the horse's mouth.
These are all the questions that I'm just running away from. Absolutely nothing is happening. He's just a friend.
Did you and Pere have some sort of unspoken alliance at some point? Because at some point, viewers thought that there was this alliance that you guys were not necessarily speaking about, but it was just there. Was there anything
alliance
like that?
Within the house?
Within the house, yes.
No. Big Brother would have figured this out, and I think we would have been disqualified straight away because we're not meant to. But no, we didn't. Either I upset him and he'd voice out his opinions, or if he upset me, I'll be upset not speaking to him, and, you know, he'd come around and ask what's wrong, and, you know, I'll lash out or whatever.
So he said things about both of you having some intimate sessions under the sheets, and he was quite explicit about it. He painted vivid pictures.
Yeah, I've watched the clip about when he was telling Jackie.
It was Angel. It was saying that to Angel.
No, yeah, Angel and JMK.
Yeah. And I think it's only, would I say fair right now, that we hear your side of it. I mean, he has taken a stand.
Yeah.
You know, you should either counter the stand or let it remain standing.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing this.
I won't go into details about it because, like I said, in regards to Angel, you know, the whole specifically talking about
Very specific.
It's just demeaning to women, and I've been answering questions like almost all day regarding this topic, and it's becoming like disrespectful, you know, having to answer the same thing and me trying to paint that vivid picture. All I'm going to say is whatever Pere sold.
But if you were to clear that on Pulse, I mean, you said that elsewhere, which is not here. But if
I said what?
You said you've been answering questions about this all day.
Yeah.
So this is like Pulse's turn to hear it from you. So we really do want to hear your stand on it about what. Do you want me to recount what he said, or you heard too much of it already?
Seriously.
Okay, so just from your point of view, what would you say?
Yeah, none of it happened. He was, he laid, and this is the thing that actually really happened that night. Basically, you know, Pere always tries to come to my bed to sleep over. And sometimes I don't know if they'll again, everything that happens in the house, now that I can see, you guys don't catch it all at once. You know, they might be in a different room, in the living room, in the garden, and something else is happening in somewhere else. And then when a certain part's over, and then they show something that you guys don't understand how it started. So, you know, Pere always like, you know, when it's nighttime, oh, can I come and sleep in your bed? I'm like, no, like, what is this? So half of the few times that he did sleep on my bed, it was like back and forth, no, Pere, you're not sleeping on my bed, no, Pere. And, you know, he'd still bring himself and sleep, and we're on camera. I don't want to keep embarrassing him or whatever. So, you know, he laid on my bed that particular night. I wasn't drunk. There was no drinking involved that night. Because when I did confront him about stuff, he asked me, oh, were you drunk? You don't remember? So yeah, there was no drinking ever involved. And, you know, he leaned forward at some point when we were talking, because we were just talking and, you know, sharing things. And he tried to lean across to kiss me, and obviously I leaned back. And, you know, we carried on talking. I was getting tired. I fell asleep, but facing Sammy's bed. You know, he tried to put his hands over me to like give me a cuddle or whatever. I kept hitting it off. I gave up, and he cuddled me. In the middle of the night, I woke up, tapped him, and he left my bed. So I don't know where all of this is coming from. And then we have a game called Questions on the dining table a few nights after this night, and he brought it up. So I stopped and I looked at him and was so upset, because I didn't understand where that came from. And I had asked him, I said, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Anyway, I stopped talking to him for a few days, and then he asked nicely, because he'd been speaking to Liquor Rose, oh, Maria's not speaking to me. Can you ask her why? Like, I'm trying so hard to speak to her and she doesn't want to speak to me. So when I then gave him a chance to actually tell him what he had done wrong when he wanted to speak, I said, you know, I don't like you giving a different narrative out there. I don't even care about the people in the house if they believe it or not. It's the viewers outside, and like, you're tarnishing me, and when none of this happened. And, you know, he looked at me and said, what do you mean? Were you drunk? Like, it did happen? And I was like, what happened? I was like, no, Pere, like, don't play me like that. Like, I don't know what you're trying to achieve, but don't do this, because this is my life, your life, people are watching. I know how I would carry myself. And the thing is, I was so open and transparent in that house that I would never on national TV have anything sexual, but the real me that you guys probably saw or didn't see, you know, when Biggie had called me to the diary room and I was like, oh, I'm coming, Biggie, and I was making sounds, that's me, and that's like a jokey thing, and that's just my banter. But to think that I would disrespect myself, and let's just say he claimed I was drunk. I mean, I'm a woman. If someone did some things to me, I would know, like, it's just not even possible. But, you know, we spoke about that, and then he outside near the party hall, and I could tell he was looking at the camera there. So I kind of figured out he was trying to give content. I'm thinking, right, why, in my head, why this though? Like, why me, and why are you making stuff up? So I said to him, why are you doing this? And he said, okay, you know, you didn't do it. So I said, yeah, but you've told the public I did. And now he's like, oh yeah, because you're making me lie for you in front of the public when we did. So I was like, do you know what? You're actually tapped in the head. I'm not doing this with you. And I walked away, and I didn't speak to him for a very long time, till Saturday night, just before the party, our Saturday night parties. And then we got evicted, and I got evicted on Sunday. So none of that happened.
All right. So because, you know, we're all viewers, I am talking to you right now, but at some point I was watching the show and everything. And it's really important to me to know certain things. So moving forward, how should I, and maybe other people that feel the way I feel, should take these words, and I quote, I can say this any freaking where. she fingered herself while stroking
I don't
my
want to
hair.
hear this. I'm really sorry. It's very disrespectful to me. I don't want to hear
Coming
it.
from me or coming from Pere?
Coming from Pere, and you keep saying it on national TV.
Because
I'm a
it
woman,
needs to
like,
get out of my system. Like,
okay, but I'm
my
a woman.
anger, I don't know, my tension.
Okay, let's not do this because
Just
it's not very nice. Like, I am a woman, and at the end of the day, it's disrespectful. Like, continuously saying those things. None of that happened, and that's what it is. So we don't have to keep talking about it.
I'm purging myself of all of those moving forward.
Okay.
All right, then. So let's talk about the energy between you and White Money. So all the things that happened from the start till now, was it like some sort of distrust? Was it dislike? What exactly was the energy?
No, again, you guys don't live in the same house as us. You don't see everything that happens every day. I just had my own personal observations and I ran with them, and that's how I felt what I felt. Me nominating him had nothing to, partially had to do with what I was observing about White. It had nothing to do with Pere. Apparently everyone's like, oh, Pere, confused me or brainwashed me into, no, we did have a conversation. Pere had a conversation with me in the head of house room saying that White is strategic and like this is his, but I already thought about that before and I was listening to Pere, I was like, you're right, I thought about this anyway. So it wasn't Pere. Like at the end of the day, White was too good to be true. And we're playing a game. If someone's constantly in the kitchen helping, is actually too good to be true. This was not once or twice or a week. It'd been series of weeks, and he wasn't coming to sit with us who are not cooking in the house and doing stuff. So for me, it's like he's so busy in the kitchen that he's avoiding, interactions or altercations that might happen if he was actually sat down interacting with every housemate properly. And Pere trying to take him out of the kitchen is just what it is. That was Pere's regime and that's what he wanted to do. And there's all these things going about that I was campaigning to make the housemates understand that White shouldn't have been in the kitchen. I don't know how you guys saw that as a whole in general. It was public and White was there. It was the morning that Pere had announced White to step down from the kitchen. He's tried. I know Pere made it sound, oh, thank you, but I knew what Pere meant at the back of his head. And then people are like, no, let's just leave it like that. He's actually very helpful and we're okay with that. Any other thing would cause confusion. And my point of view was trying to explain to my housemates, my fellow housemates that, imagine, God forbid, if White went tomorrow, will be lost. Let's learn now to know how to cook in the house in a large quantity, because it wasn't like the girls didn't know how to cook. It was a lot of us found it difficult because we're a lot and we were not reducing in numbers. It was like we were being added even more. So a lot of us, and the guys as well that do know how to cook, found it really hard trying to cook in large quantities and stuff like that, but White was okay with that. So my thing trying to explain to people in front of White was like, let's give him a break, let's learn so we don't depend on someone, because if he goes, we're going to be lost. We don't even know where chicken is, we don't know where anything is, we don't even know where the spices, some everything is. Oh, White, where's this? No, he's not a kitchen, they didn't bring him to cook, and that was it. And I did say, and what if this is his strategy as well? You guys use, but White was there. So like when people bring me out, is like I'm saying things in front of this person, and I even had a conversation with White after all of this was said, because I didn't even go to him to have a conversation. He called me. He said, Maria, like, can I talk to you? And I said, yeah, dude, like, that's fine. I said, look, what I'm saying, and I explained myself. So when people really drag me, it's just like, if you can't see me, for me, honestly, I'm tired. Like, I'm just tired of having to explain things that I mean and don't mean. They're allowed to have their own perception of me, and that's okay. And people who love me out there, I'm more than okay with that.
Yeah, I can testify to that one, because I love you right now.
I love you too. Okay.
All right, so it seems like you have like one thing or the other with different people in the house. So we've talked about Angel, there was White Money, Pere came up. Now, obviously, Queen has to come up as well. You had a lot of altercation with Queen. So why do you think that happened? And how do you feel about Queen?
If you guys watched the show, really watched the show, I didn't have altercations with Queen. Queen always came at me.
Oh.
The 2 times that we had a fight, I have nothing against Queen because I saw comments, you know, the first night I got evicted, we're not allowed our phones till after interviews and stuff with Ebuka. So I had nothing to do in the hotel and I was just watching TV and I read a lot of comments, you know, people trying to tell me, oh, pride comes before a fall, you thought you were better than her and look, now you have to watch her and all. None of that even got to me because I know things that happened in the house. I know how it happened. I never came at Queen. If you guys did really watch the show, Queen came at me. You know, there was, I think, if I'm correct, yeah, I never came at her. I can't remember what we were actually having. All of us sat down in the living room. If it was Ebuka on live, I don't know, I'm not sure, and had said certain things about Pere, you know, oh, I think people perceive you as this and that, like they were good compliments. You know, we were all sat together and Queen was like, yeah, that's Pere. And Maria said, what, only 2 days and you think you know Pere? Look, this is me. I would have said it if it wasn't Queen, if it was someone else, I would say, because we that have been there for weeks, and I'm not saying we as per se me, everyone, we don't even know each other that well. There's so many other people. But if she's quickly observed this, again, I said what I said. And
so do you think she was jumping territory at that point in time?
I didn't even see it as that. But my point was, if whatever I said was offensive to her, she could have come at me differently, you know. So she waited for the whole, you know, Ebuka, you know, I don't know what it was. I don't know what we were doing. I think Ebuka was on TV. So anyway, she waited for all of this to end. And then KV, who obviously, unfortunately left us quite early, came to me, but he's been like doing that all week saying, oh, Biggie said we should get to know each other. I still don't know anything about you. Like, I want to talk to you. So he came and he was like, Maria, have you got some time? Can we do this now? I was like, yeah, sure. So he sat down, I was sat. We just started talking and Queen just walked over to me and said, you know, Maria, I need to talk to you. I said, oh, okay, can we do this later? Like, I literally just started talking to KB. She's like, no, I need to talk to you now. So I looked at her and I said, you know, is everything okay? And she was like, no. So I laughed about it and I said to KV, 1 second, like, I'll talk to you later. I got up, went over to Queen because she was over the couch. I went all the way around, went over to her and I said, yeah, what's up? Like, and she just came at me and started shouting. So I said, no, I'm not doing this with you. Like, this is not going to happen. I said, if you're going to talk to me calmly. She carried on shouting. So I walked away, sat back down, and she's still shouting. You should do, you know, BITCH. So I started shouting because I am human at the end of the day. Like, I said, I'm not doing this with you. Talk to me with respect and like talk to me as a person. I actually left a conversation that I was sat down having, respected you enough to come in because you said you needed to speak to me ASAP. And I would love for Biggie, if you guys didn't watch all of this. I mean, we even spoke about it in the house when I was explaining myself in the house, when people were asking what happened. And there were people sat around me who said, yeah, this is what happened. So you guys should have actually watched that rather than drag me. So she did come at me. I'm not going to have a conversation with a person who attacks me, regardless of whatever it is I said, whether I said, oh, you've only known, only 2 days and you think you know Pere. Again, however she felt, because maybe she felt me and Pere was a thing, that's on her. I would have said what I would have said regardless if it was her and Pere or not. So if she did have a thing with me about if she was offended with what I said, you're an adult. You've only been here 2 days. We don't know each other. Why would you come at me like that? Do you know what I mean? And that was, if it was someone else in the house that I actually knew properly, I think I would have come at them heavier because we should know each other, but I didn't know her. So I walked away because I'm like, I don't know if this is a strategy or if this is you trying to, I don't know what you're playing. So I walked away. So, you know, that made us not be, I didn't want to try being friends with her and she didn't want to try being friends with me, and that was it. And then the next one that we had another altercation was when White Money and Pere had what they had, you know, the whole demeaning thing that Pere was trying to beat him. I wasn't even there. And I was head of house that week, and I asked, when I came and heard all the shouting, you know, I'm trying to like say one house, like, can we just talk about this? And I asked the guys that were around, like, what really did happen? Saga's like very close to Pere. Saga was like disappointed with Pere, saying, no, Pere, this is what we saw. Emmanuel did the same thing. Emmanuel's a quiet person, and for him to even be upset about that, I had to believe what everyone around was saying. I wasn't there. So Pere said, yeah, I did this, but I didn't mean it. Anyway, so, you know, I'd never even took Pere's side. I was really upset with Pere because you're doing this in my head of house week. And secondly, all I'm asking you for is just apologize. You've really upset White. I wasn't taking sides, but I needed him to apologize to White because that's disrespect and that's threatening, like that's a threatening behavior. So, you know, they took it outside. Well, White went outside with it, or people dragged White outside so they can maybe not have a fight or whatever. And I was inside the whole time, like trying to ask Pere to come out. And afterwards I went out and I'm trying to calm White down. Michael's talking to me saying, nah, Maria, this is BS. Like, you should really address this to Biggie. This is bullying. That means what? He can just beat all of us. And I was like, calm down, Michael. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, I can't just walk into the diary room. You live here. Like, Biggie has to call you. If I walk into first of all, the door might not even be open. Secondly, Biggie will never speak to me because he's not addressed. He's not called me to come in. So, you know, I was saying the same thing. Queen was on the sofa beds outside, bent on them, and I was stood over that, you know, speaking to Michael. And Queen should have listened to what I was saying to Michael, but she was saying exactly the same thing Michael was saying and was shouting at me. No, Maria, don't say you can't do anything because you can do something. Go in there and tell And I was listening to her, and I'm still speaking to Michael, explaining the same thing that Will and Mike explained. And she carried on and carried on. And I said, why are you shouting at me? Like, are you actually crazy? Like, what is wrong with you? And if you guys watch the show, she was attacking me. She shouted at me. I'm human at the end of the day. Like, so all this narrative that I dislike Queen or Queen, I'm indifferent. What her bread and my, like, whatever she eats don't make me nothing. Whatever she doesn't eat doesn't make me anything. Whatever I'm just indifferent. We never got a chance to be friends, and that's just what it is. And I'm okay with that. Like, they came in late to the show, which was unfair because that made them not to bond when all of us were bonding. Mm-hmm. I did try to be friends with, like, even the first day she came in, I took a bottle of water. If the viewers were watching, I gave a few of the guys. I went over to her, I said, hey, like, do you want water? Where are you from? She was like, no, she doesn't want water. I was actually nice to her, you know? So all this narrative out there that, I demeaned her and I disrespected her, say, because I think I'm pretty or I think I'm better. I don't even think like that about myself. Like, people that know the real me know that I don't even see myself how people see me. I'm confident in my skin and how I look, but when people tell me, oh, you're this, you're that, I don't see it and I don't believe them, and I don't think I'm ugly, but I don't think too much of myself. So all these things out there thinking that everyone's, you know, dragging me and saying, oh, you know, I just think I'm something special. I don't see myself like that. And this is the last time I'm actually going to address Queen's issue. I have nothing against her. I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be friends. I'm just indifferent. There's literally no bad blood. Completely no bad blood.
So let's just bounce off Queen's issue with this one. You know, you speaking about her coming into the house 3 weeks after you guys have been in the house and stuff like that.
Yeah,
about 2 or 3 weeks,
like
obviously you guys were in the house before Queen came in the house.
Yeah.
So do you think she profited off successfully dragging you into these shouting matches, judging by the evictions and stuff?
I don't have a clue because I wasn't outside the house to see whether or not she got information in her, you know, time waiting to come. I can't tell if she did and this was a strategy. Good on her, you know, whatever it is. At the end of the day, like, everyone's timeline in life is different. I wish Queen all the best, and I'm just focused on myself right now, and that's all.
Oh, amazing stuff. So speaking about being focused on yourself, you mentioned you relocating to Lagos after everything.
I live here now. I think.
Okay, so was that plan even before Big Brother, or Big Brother, you know, influenced that?
I mean, a couple of years ago, I was hoping to, like, move to Abuja and open up a daycare and stuff like that. But, you know, you plan and things change. Okay. COVID happened, a lot of things happened. So all of that was put aside. But I did my research and did a lot of stuff. And then, so now Big Brother happened and I got through. And you don't know you're going to get through. So no plans were made to move to Lagos because I wasn't sure if I was even going to, you know, get onto the show. And everything happened so fast. It was in the show that I started thinking, you actually have to move to Lagos now. So I've just come out 2 days ago and I'm so stressed and I'm not going to lie. But yes, I think I live here now.
Oh, interesting.
Further notice.
We're happy to have you here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So how about your business in Dubai? What happens?
Okay, so I didn't have a business in Dubai. I worked as a realtor. So I did work for an English company as a realtor. It's all gone.
So that's bye-bye to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to the fan zone brought to you by Showmax. So this is basically where we ask you questions that were sent to us by your fans. They want to know things about you by themselves. So
okay.
I'm going to check them.
Marians.
Okay, so we have this one from @Eniola27 on TikTok. Says that if we should ask Maria if she feels guilty about gossiping about Angel and Liquor Rose.
I gossiped about Liquor Rose?
Well, that's what the fan is asking. I guess the fan watched something like that.
I want to know what I gossiped about Liquor Rose.
What did you gossip about Angel, though?
That's not gossiping. I'm telling my girlfriends or people that I'm closer to. I was close to everyone, but not close, but I did interact daily with everyone, but there were little different people that I was closer to. I had conversations with them. If someone deems it gossip, okay, I'm a gossip. Jesus, drag me. I'm okay with that.
You seem to be getting comfortable with the dragging
because
thing.
it's too much now, and yeah. I didn't gossip about Angel. I had my opinions shared with my friends in a conversation. If that's gossip, okay, yes, I gossiped.
So those were opinions shared?
Yes, and we're entitled to those.
Yeah,
I don't know if she said anything about me. I'll never know till maybe whenever, I don't know. And whatever it is, that's fine. That's how she feels. And maybe she's never even said anything about me, and that's also okay. But I said what I said. And if people have perceived that I disrespected her in any way, when she does come out, I'm sure we will have a conversation, because I'm sure she would like to know why X, Y, Z, and why are people saying this and I'm saying something different. And she can probably go and search the clips online, because I'm sure they are there, to see what I did say and didn't say.
All right, so this is coming from a feed of engineering on Instagram. Says that, does Maria have any regrets now that she has found out that White Money and Angel did not nominate her? There are two more follow-up questions, but let's take them a step at a time.
Okay, regrets would be like a really harsh word. At the end of the day, I am human, and I'm prone to having my observations and my own, what's the word? Like, it's okay for me to, it's a game. We don't know who's fake. We don't know who's real. We don't even know who are our friends. So it's like, I'm allowed to think what I think. And if that made me nominate them, yes, I do feel kind of bad that they didn't nominate me, but I nominated them. But at the end of the day, it's a game. And I'm sure there were people that I nominated, but maybe they didn't nominate me either. It's a game. We have to nominate each other at the day. So yes, I do kind of feel bad, but I wouldn't call it a regret. I'm playing a game. I have to nominate people. So, but yes, me and White being close during, the beginning, I wouldn't have minded still being close, but I had my observations in the house that people were not seeing, because you guys are not watching everything and everywhere 24/7.
Sure. And following up with that one, Boma telling you had no right to be angry or had no right to call anyone fake for nominating you and things in that regard. Did you think you had to be angry,
Did he say that?
Yeah, about when you were angry about people nominating you and stuff. When you had nominated other people.
I wasn't angry. What I did say and what was upsetting me, which I think I clarified with him, I don't think he even said it like that. I think he said,
him addressing you being angry about
because
it.
people, after that whole strike thing and, me not having veto power and me being up for nomination, dude, like, I had a hard day. Like, Biggie embarrassed me in front of everyone that I did deserve. I deserve all of that because I was wrong. I broke his rules in his house and I was wrong. So obviously I was in my feelings. A lot had just happened to me. Liquor could not even use her veto on me. Do you know how crazy I felt? Now I'm up for nomination. So of course I was all over the place, and I am human, and so is everyone else. If someone else was in that shoe, but what I did mean, if I go in there and sit in the diary room and Biggie asks me, who would you like to nominate? And I give him names, I don't straight away walk out of the room immediately and go to those people. You're right, Maria, are you okay? Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. I still be friends with them because we live in a house and we have to adapt, but not immediately. If they come to me and speak to me, yes, we still have to nominate each other. It's like, they make it seem like it's fake, but like we do have to nominate each other and still cordially live in the same house. Because I nominate you doesn't mean I shouldn't be friends with you anymore. I have to nominate you. If not, who am I going to nominate?
It is
myself. So when people say I'm so two-faced, you go and nominate Angel and you still be friends with her, why wouldn't I? I don't understand the logic. And it's not like I'm friends with her. I'm friendly with her. So that's what. So yeah, me being upset had nothing to do with people that nominated me. It was that they nominated me, came out the house, and these were my observations. Again, you don't know who might have nominated you, but please don't come and say sorry to me. And I was irritated because a lot had just happened to me, and I just didn't want anyone around me. So,
okay, still from a Freedom Engineering. Freedom Engineering is still asking that has Maria been in touch with her partner since coming out of the house, and what is her real age?
Yes, I have been in touch with him. We've been speaking since I've been out. I am 29 years old. What? I can't speak English. I am 29 years of age.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is coming through from Amor with a lot of numbers, 394153 on Twitter. And Amor is asking right now that how do you feel now that you found out that White Money and Angel are not exactly what you think they were?
How have I found that out?
Like, how do you feel finding out different things about White Money and Angel now? You know, as opposed to how maybe you felt while you were in the house.
I haven't found anything about.
Well, they feel maybe about them not being the ones nominating you about things.
Me nominating Angel had nothing to do with me thinking that she nominated me. It was White and Queen.
So, in other words, that you find out that genuine. Do you think they're genuine, so to speak? Now?
I still stand by everything I say about how I felt in the house about Angel, and those were my reasons for nominating her, and I don't take them back. I don't take it back. Yeah. All
right. So Ozogu Lukchunonso on Facebook says, why did Maria allow Pere poison her against White Money?
He didn't do that. He didn't poison me. I already had I thought about it. He voiced it out because he was head of house and he tried to remove White from the kitchen. And I said, it's funny you say that because I've been thinking that. So Pere didn't poison me.
Okay, all right, that's about it on Fan Zone for this week, brought to you by Showmax. So moving forward, what's in the future for Maria? Because personally, I think you were an amazing actress. I think you did some amazing stuff in the house. So are you considering Nollywood acting moving forward?
Yeah.
Ooh. My screen's about to get leaked.
Fingers crossed. Again, you plan and God decides. So whatever happens, happens. But no, I wouldn't mind going into entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what housemate are you rooting for to win the prize money?
Liquor Rose and White Money.
Oh. But there has to be just one winner. You
never know. Okay, so I did learn that because you have X amount of followers, more than other people, does not make you towards the 90 million winning. Big Brother and your fans would shock you. So I don't know what it is. You can't, because of outside influence, think XYZ is going to win. Okay. I know they do nominate, but I think people disregard voting a lot, that they might really like someone and vote with the person for certain reasons, but they just don't go and vote, and they don't vote. I'm not promoting voting. I'm out. Don't go and vote for anyone. Just stay where you are. I'm joking. Go and vote.
Don't vote.
Go and vote.
Okay.
Let me be a nice person for once. Apparently, I'm a horrible person.
No, you're not horrible, Kamala. You're too beautiful to be horrible.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for coming on Pulse 101. So amazing to have you. So we have a voucher and a hoodie for you from Showmax.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I tell you.
Thank you.
So
no way. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, Showmax. Ooh, darling Maria, you're amazing.
Yeah, read that out. We want to hear it.
Darling Maria, you're amazing. Now enjoy more of what's like you as you exit the Big Brother house, enter a world of endless entertainment with Showmax. Let me open this.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you so much, by the way.
You're welcome.
Ooh, thanks. 3 months. 3 months Showmax Pro voucher valid in Nigeria until 31st March 2020. So explain this so I can just like go to Showmax and watch anything.
You know.
Damn.
You know, just for enjoyment, entertainment for you. Unlimited.
Thank you. I really appreciate. Oh, so that's the voucher number.
Yeah, that's the voucher.
Marians, do you want the number?
Oh, really? You're gonna give that out just like that?
My gift. No, I'm joking. Nah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Okay, check out the hoodie.
Okay. Black and pink. Oh, this is nice. Oh. Okay. This is a little bit of me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I really do appreciate it, honestly. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, and thank you as well, Maria, for coming on Pulse One-on-One.
You
were so much fun to talk to.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And you too. All right, that's about it on Pulse One-on-One with Maria right here, brought to you by Showmax. And do not forget that you can always send us all of your questions. We'll ask your faves all your questions. Send it to us across all social media platforms at Pulse Nigeria 247. And do not forget as well that you can watch BBNaija live on Showmax on your phone or online, whether you're in Nigeria or you're in the UK. We got you covered. And you can check out the buzz as well on Showmax with Toke Makinwa, where you get Big Brother inside scoop that you cannot find anywhere else. My name is Layemi Fearless. Au revoir.